Welcome to Hampton Roads Perspectives, a public service of Odyssey. Weekly conversations about events and people making a difference in our community.
Good morning again and welcome back. This is Dale Murray. Thomas Nelson Community College has just reopened its doors to the public. Joining me over the phone now is the college's new president, Dr. Tawana Porter. She's the school's 9th president and the second woman to lead the school, which proves the point sometimes the best man for a job is a woman. Good morning to you, Dr. Brannon.
Good morning, Dale. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. Let's get to it. Will students and faculty be required to be vaccinated when they return to school?
Definitely not. We are following not only the CDC guidelines, but also the charge from our chancellor. And so we encourage vaccinations, absolutely. But students, faculty, or staff are not required to be vaccinated when they return to campus this fall.
Oh, will masks be required on campus?
So we do continue to encourage people to be safe, which includes like social distancing. Masks are not required unless you have not been vaccinated, but there are many people who over the last 15 months have gotten very comfortable with their masks, and if they choose to continue wearing them, we definitely will not, we won't stop anyone from wearing that mask if they have been vaccinated, but masks will not be required if you have been vaccinated, fully vaccinated.
Okay. Well, Dr. Porter, how will classes be offered to students upon their return?
You know, it's interesting. What we've learned during the pandemic is that students like variety. And so previously, we would have not had the majority of our classes online. But this fall, what we've learned is that there is a higher demand for online-only classes, face-to-face, and hybrid, which is a little mix of the two. And so what we're doing is taking what we've learned from what students are telling us. And this fall, if you want to continue taking most of your classes online, you can, face-to-face, but also hybrid, which allows you to come to class one day and then take another class and another day online. So we are using those three modalities to provide students with course options for this fall.
Okay. When exactly do classes start for the fall, and when can students enroll?
Well, enrollment is going on right now. So registration started in April. And so it's interesting when you're at a community college, the traditional start of classes would be August 23rd, which would be the first day. But at a community college that's a little bit more comprehensive, we have start, which is August 23rd. And if you want to start later, we have 12-week classes that start September 21st. And if you want career studies and certificate and short-term training, those class enrollments are ongoing and registration for those are ongoing. So if you want to learn welding and HVAC and, get your CDL, your commercial driver's license, registration is ongoing, and those courses tend to start every 6 weeks. But the traditional start date is August 23rd.
Okay, my guest this morning is Dr. Tawana Porter, president of Thomas Nelson Community College. You know, Dr. Porter, parents have a lot of questions about whether the community college pass is right for their young adults. Do students need to apply for admission?
They do. And what is amazing about community colleges is unlike every other college, we tend to accept 100% of all those who apply to the college. So an application is still necessary, and mostly so our advisors can help students figure out what the right pathway is for them. But it's a pretty simple application process, and once you sort of raise your hand by submitting the application, someone from our team will be reaching out to help guide students, and whether that's a traditional 18-year-old, 17-year-old student or an adult returning to college, will help guide them to help them identify the right pathway for them.
Can you talk to me about some of the benefits of enrolling in a community college versus a four-year institution?
Definitely. And I'd like to start with is I think about community colleges as a pathway. And sometimes that's a pathway to work, and sometimes it's a pathway to the four-year college. And so I don't think of it as a either or.
Okay.
I try to think about what fits your lifestyle. Like, what are the needs that you have? And so the majority of our students are not 18 or 17 years old, right? They're 24 years and older. And so what are the needs of someone who may be managing multiple responsibilities, who may not be looking for, traditional campus life, who need their education to fit into, their work life, their family responsibilities, and proximity to church and family and things of that nature. And so a lot of the benefits of attending a community college is it offers the type of flexibility that meets the needs of someone who may have more responsibilities than a traditional student whose parents have dropped them off, and they're going to go discover what they want to do. The community college tends to be very flexible for someone who has multiple responsibilities, but it's also a place for that traditional 17 or 18-year-old who has not yet figured out what it is they want to do or what their passions are. And it gives them an opportunity to learn in an environment where you have tons of wraparound services, support systems, financial aid, and it gives you an opportunity to learn in a smaller environment where you have constant contact with advisors and faculty. And so the community college is really best for someone who may still be thinking about what that pathway is, for the adult who already knows and just needs short-term training, and for someone who's got multiple responsibilities and limited finances and really wants one of the best education they could get that's at an affordable price and fits into their lifestyle.
Can students earn credentials at Thomas Nelson?
Oh, absolutely. We have any variety. If you'd like a degree, we have a degree, certificate, career studies certificates. And so depending on where you want to go, so if you want short-term training, that's anywhere from 6 weeks to 16 weeks, something to give you new skills for your current job or new skills for a new career, you can definitely get that at Thomas Nelson. Anything from welding and HVAC, machining, and even, paralegal studies. There's so many different types of credentials that you can earn at Thomas Nelson. And then we call stackable credentials. So if you do choose to go on and earn an associate's degree, bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree, Thomas Nelson is definitely a place where you can start earning credentials that become what we call stackable so that you can go as far as you would like to go with your academic journey.
What qualifications does the school professors have?
It's what's interesting, and I'm so glad you asked that, because there's a lot of myths that somehow a community college offers a different type of education than traditional universities. And I have to share that we are all, in our industry, we're all accredited by the same body. And so our faculty have to have the same credentials as faculty at your traditional four-year institutions in our area. And so depending on what the curriculum is, for example, if you are teaching nursing, then you obviously have to have a master's degree in nursing. But if you're teaching something like HVAC, you may not need a degree in HVAC, but you may need certain qualifications, certain professional qualifications. But I have to share that our faculty have to have the very same credentials that all our four-year institution partners have to have, and that's just our standard accrediting body. So when you come to a community college, your faculty have the same credentials as every other faculty member in the Commonwealth.
Yeah. I read where the school has a dual enrollment program. Talk to me about that and how it prepares high school students for college.
Yes, the dual enrollment program, which is one of my favorite programs in higher education, not only does it prepare, there are so many young people, and I have a teenager, I have a 15-year-old, and there are so many teenagers who are being told that they have to go to college, but they really have no idea what that means. And they are being taught most of the time that you need strong academic credentials in order to be ready, for college. And it is only half of the conversation. There are so many students who don't have the confidence. They don't have anyone in their family who's attended college. They don't have anyone they could talk to about what the other requirements are. So things like time management, networking, creating friends who can help motivate you. Like, having good grades is not the only thing it takes to be successful in college. And what the dual enrollment program does, it introduces students who may otherwise not have any other exposure to higher education. It introduces them to what a college class looks like, what college rigor looks like, having that time management, like not having instructors who are going to remind you to turn in your assignments. And it not only gives them an opportunity to earn college credit before they finish high school, but it gives them the confidence to know that they can pursue college education and that they can do well. And also it exposes them to what they like and what they don't like, so they can make more informed decisions about what they're going to do after high school because they've had that experience. And very recently we graduated. There were 26 students out of Phoebus High School in Hampton who graduated with an associate's degree about 3 weeks before they earned their high school diploma.
Wow.
And so that's just an extraordinary example of just like the power of dual enrollment, so that these students now have an education that was of no cost to them, and now they can decide whether or not they want to continue pursuing a bachelor's degree or, go off into the world of work. But dual enrollment is an excellent opportunity for our young people to get connected to higher education or the workforce, whichever one they may choose.
Well, Dr. Porter, what kind of advice could you give to students who are still trying to decide if college is the right path for them?
It's again, there's so many people telling our young folks that they have to figure that out. Yeah. And I tend not to talk about college as a list of majors or career interests. I always start with asking students, what type of life are you looking to live? What type of lifestyle do you want for yourself? Where do you envision the ideal workplace? And we talk to the kind of life you want to live, because most of us work. Most of us, we're not trust fund babies. We're working because we have to, right? Because we require income. But that income is to satisfy the type of lifestyle. So are you interested in working in an office? Do you like working with your hands? What kind of freedom and flexibility do you like? Do you like figuring out problems? Do you like working with people? We start talking about what are the things that you like to do? What are the things that you would do if money wasn't a concern? And what type of lifestyle would you like to have for yourself? Because then we can start talking about what career options may be of interest to you. And then we can get to, what majors could get you to that career. So that's some of the advice that I try to give all students when I'm talking to them, is I just ask the question, tell me what your life is going to look like. What would you like your life to look like? What type of flexibility? Do you want to be your own boss? Do you see yourself working with children? Do you like working with people? And we try to have conversations about the type of life you want to live, and the type of lifestyle you want to have. And then we get down to, what types of careers and then what types of programs, academic programs could get you there.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, I'm talking with Dr. Tawana Porter, president of Thomas Nelson Community College. Dr. Porter, if a student isn't a trust fund baby, then they may be experiencing financial hardships. Are there resources available to get through college?
Yes, absolutely. I would be remiss if I did not mention our community college system is incredibly supported by our local senators, our House delegates, our governor, Chancellor Dubois. There are so many different funding options available. So at the college level, we have donors who give to students. They give to scholarships. And these are not just academic scholarships. These are need-based scholarships. We help students fund books if they need and laptop computers if they need.
Really?
But we also have, it's amazing how much support that we have for our students. But we also have programs like G3, which has been rebranded as Get a Skill, Get a Job, and then Get Ahead, which is a last dollar scholarship, which means after all your financial aid has been exhausted, we will help pay for the remainder of your tuition for students who are pursuing high demand careers such as early childhood education, IT cybersecurity, HVAC welding, dental assisting. We also have something called REV, which is Reemploying Virginians, which is amazing if you've lost your job because of COVID-19 or if you're working part-time and making less than 15 hours. We have funding to help support those students. Fast forward, there are so many programs that are available at the community college, and including in addition to food pantries, in addition to Single Stop, which is an amazing program to connect our students to public benefits such as SNAP or Medicaid. And so our goal at the community college is to never let finances be a barrier between a student and their pursuit of education. And there's so many wraparound services that we provide students and funding opportunities so that finances is never a reason for a student not to pursue higher education.
That's awesome. That really is. How can one find more information about these financial aid offerings?
I would share I would first say if you want to find out anything about Thomas Nelson, and specifically the programs that could help you get you on your pathway to higher education, is to reach out to our college, which by phone, it could be 757-825-2800. Our website, which is www.tncc.edu. And we also have 3 open houses coming up in the next couple of weeks. And if you go to our website, that information is immediately available on our website. And the 3 open houses will have deans from all of our areas helping students figure out what is they want to do with their lives. And we'll also have folks from financial aid to help talk about different funding opportunities. But those are the 3 best ways to connect with the college and find out more about funding opportunities and programs that we have available.
Once again, I'm talking with Dr. Tawana Porter, president of Thomas Nelson Community College. She's the school's 9th president and only the 2nd woman to lead the school. Dr. Porter, as the new president, what is your vision for the future of Thomas Nelson Community College?
I have a two-pronged vision, Dale, and they both, one relies on the other. And so I'd share the first is that the Virginia Peninsula will have one of the most educated and trained citizenry within the Commonwealth. And the second is that we will have one of the most thriving economies in the Commonwealth. And when you look at any community in our country and probably in the world, what you will find is that communities where the citizens are highly educated and trained, they are some of the most thriving communities. They're least likely to have high crime statistics. They're least likely to be involved in behaviors that are not good. They're most likely to have generations of wealth. And so for me, the vision for Thomas Nelson Community College is how can we play a role in making sure that the Virginia Peninsula and all the citizens that reside in our area have access to education, pathways out of poverty if they need them, opportunities to expand their marketability and their job potential, and to make sure that the businesses, we have multiple small and large businesses in our area that are desperate for talent right now. How are we making sure that they have the talent that they need so that our local businesses don't need to look elsewhere for that talent? And so where I see that Thomas Nelson can play a role is partnering not only with our businesses, small and large, our local politicians, and the citizens who reside in our area to make sure that our citizens who reside here have the best opportunities, not only for themselves, but for the children to come after them, and to make sure that our businesses don't need to look anywhere else for talent except for right here on the peninsula.
You know, Dr. Porter, I looked over your bio. You have an impressive resume. What made you choose to apply to Thomas Nelson? What attracted you to the institution?
You know, very often you hear people talk about fit when it comes to these leadership roles, that you have to have a good fit. And I have to tell you, Dale, the fit was what attracted me. When I looked at the community is so diverse in all the ways that I would want a community to be. You know, we have a huge college town area, multinational businesses, an amazing military presence. And so just the community alone was just vibrant. And when I visited, there was this energy that I felt that connected with me. I felt like I was home. And so that was one of the first things that attracted me to the community. But then when I visited the college, meeting with the faculty and the staff and the students, it was just very clear that we had values and passion that were aligned. And people will hear me say I'm very competitive, but I'm competitive because I want Thomas Nelson to be number one, because our community deserves us to be number. They're looking for us. They need us to make sure that they have jobs, that they have training, that they have skills, and that this can be a prosperous community. And when I met the faculty, staff, and students, it was very clear that they were similarly aligned with that mission to just do the best job that we can on behalf of the students in our community and the businesses that we serve. And when I felt that alignment, that's when I knew that this was a great fit. And I said, I remember after my interview, I said, I really hope they choose me. And I almost never had that feeling when I left a place, but I felt that this would be a place where we would work as partners and we would grow together. And that was what attracted me most, was the faculty, staff, students, and the business people that I met when I visited the community.
Wonderful. Talk to me about what you hope to accomplish within the next year.
You know, our number one concern and goal right now is our overall enrollment. And so when you look at community colleges across the country, enrollment tends to be down at the majority of them. And for me, enrollment is not just about the college, but when I look at the enrollment, what I ask myself is, are we not fulfilling our purpose? You know, how many people are out there who are looking to change their lives, and the college could help? And if we're not enrolling them, what options and what hope can we provide for our citizens? You know, businesses are looking for talent. And if we're not enrolling students, then how are we training the next generation of the workforce? You know, when I look at little children, right, if their parents aren't seeking higher education, what hope do we have for them? Right? If they're not surrounded by people who are getting up and going to work every day and who are taking classes. And so for me, our college enrollment has a direct correlation with the prosperity of our community. And so increasing our college enrollment is my number one goal, and what I hope to accomplish in my first year, because it's not just about the college increasing enrollment. It's about us truly satisfying the mission that we have, which is being of service to the community. And so increasing our enrollment is the number one goal that I have for my first year.
Yeah. Dr. Porter, I read somewhere where the college is undergoing a name change. What has the process been like so far to choose a name?
Well, it has been, it's a process that started before I arrived. And so we were asked by the chancellor last year to consider the appropriateness of the names that adorned our colleges and our buildings. And so the college went through almost a year of research into our college's namesake with two questions in mind. Is the name appropriate? Does the name meet our mission and our vision? But also, does it meet the current needs of students? Like if we were going to name a college today, is the name a 21st century name?
Yeah.
And so we had multiple meetings and town halls and constituency groups, faculty, staff, students, and alumni who came together over months to evaluate the appropriateness of the name and to ask the question, does this name resonate with today's students? And so in February, we presented that information to our college board, and they decided to recommend a name change to the state board. And we are currently at this very moment going through the process of identifying new names for the college. And so we started with a list of 25. Mm-hmm. We whittled that name down to 10. And Dale, before the end of the month, we will have a new name to recommend to the state board that they approve for the college.
Is it too late for the public to have a chance to weigh in on the naming process?
It is not, and I'm very glad that you asked that question. This Thursday, actually, from 6:30 to 7:30, we are actually having the last town hall where the public will be able to provide, to weigh in on the name change and to even recommend names. And so, again, if you visit our website and www.tncc.edu/renaming, this Thursday at 6:30, the public will have an opportunity to join a town hall where they can weigh in on the name change and even recommend names for the college to consider.
Yeah. Dr. Porter, earlier you talked about the Finish Line program. I remember you mentioning that. Talk to me more about the Finish Line campaign and how does it impact students who have started their education but need to finish?
Oh, that is, we have a number of students that we've identified over the last few years that have stopped out, and for any number of reasons. And what's interesting is these are not students who have low GPAs, right? These are students who left the college. They're not in debt to the college. They have not fallen below a 2.0 GPA, but for one reason or another, they have stopped attending before finishing their credential. And so what we've decided to do was to reach out to those students and offer them an opportunity to re-engage with the college and to finish the credential they started, or to introduce them to a different credential, maybe a short-term career studies credential that could help them get back to work or to seek different work. And with the many support services that I mentioned earlier, with the funding that we have available in the wraparound services, we're hoping to identify some of the reasons that students left, and the Finish Line program hopes to re-engage those students and get them to earn a credential as quickly as possible.
Dr. Porter, we have to leave it there, but once again, tell me, when does the new semester start, and where can one go to get more information or to register?
Absolutely. The new fall term begins this August 23rd, and students who are interested, or anyone interested in becoming a student, can reach out to us at 757-825-8200 or at our website, www.tncc.edu. And on the landing page, you'll find information about how to apply and how to attend one of our 3 upcoming open houses.
I've been talking with Dr. Tawanda Porter, president of Thomas Nelson Community College. Dr. Porter, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking time to speak with me, and much continued success to you.
Thank you, Dale. Look forward to talking to you again.
This has been Hampton Roads Perspectives. If you would like to share information about an organization or event to be featured on a future program, please send us an email. The address is hrp@audacy.com, or write to Odyssey, 236 Clearfield Avenue, Suite 206, Virginia Beach, Virginia, 23462. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of its participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Odyssey Radio. Hampton Roads Perspectives is a public service of Odyssey.